Welcome all of you risk takers and truth seekers to Podcast Life Debate. Today I'm gonna talk to you about nuns, revolutionary nuns, and they are Amazonian, of course, the females. Maybe you ever heard for them it better known as a Haris al-Has. They are Amazonian guards, revolutionary nuns, better known. But who are they? They are Muammar Gaddafi's Amazons with strict training and no sex. Muammar Gaddafi female bodyguards were known as a revolutionary nuns. In Europe, they were known as the Amazons, and in North Africa, they were known as Haris al-Has. Their aim was to protect Libya leader at all costs. Before I go deep into this topic a little bit more, I'd like to share something with you. I do remember in 80s, Muammar Gaddafi visited then Yugoslavia, and then later on as well, he visited Croatia when we declared independence. Well, not declared, we fought for independence. When he arrived in Yugoslavia, and later on when I was working in service, in government service, Muammar Gaddafi arrived with a tent, with the camels, and with the female bodyguards. For years, Colonel Muammar Gaddafi of Libya was surrounded by the 40 made up and fashion decorated, now pay attention, virgins who kept an eye on him and maintained his personal safety. The Colonel Gaddafi was scared for his life and was guarded by a gang of attractive and well-trained female bodyguards for decades. 40 girls were in charge of his security 24/7. Despite having graduated from Gaddafi elite women's military institution in Tripoli in 1979, they all seemed ready for the catwalk with their camouflage, high heels, and designer eyewear. That academy came to symbolize women's liberation for Libyan women. Those who don't know, the Libya was in Second World War, has been hammered by the Italians, then the British, and eventually Libya becomes quite wealthy, quite developed country. It's not like today. We come a little bit later what is Libya today. But Gaddafi is said to have rationalized his decision by declaring this: I promised my mother that I would improve the position of women in Libya. Libya is a Muslim country, so he decided to improve position of women in Libya. Gaddafi had previously been protected by East German Secret Service, Stasi. You can check my videos here. The majority of his bodyguards came from Poland, Germany, and Bulgaria. That's where he has other bodyguards, male of course. Although it was impossible for outsiders to gain access to this military institution, evidence that gradually emerged to demonstrate how rigorous the training program is. Rising up at 4:30 a.m., exercise for 90 minutes, and then attending classes focused on assault and defense strategies. Now, this is not like a 3-month course, as you can hear today. To become the bodyguard in Australia, you need to have the course of a couple of days and you get a license, you're the bodyguard. This is the minimum of 3 years training program. The 3-year training program covers all aspects of military program: hand-to-hand combat, rocket guide, grenade launching, airplane piloting, were just among the few abilities that taught the pupils at the academy. Now let's come to the other parts. The female bodyguards all renounced marriage and sex in order to defend Muammar Gaddafi till his death. During the 1998 Islamic extremist attack, one of them carried out the oath when she threw herself at Gaddafi commander. Aisha was her name. A hail of bullets killed her and injured 2 other female bodyguards. He was apparently convinced that the female assassins would shoot more powerfully, although he never explained why he chose only female bodyguards. Furthermore, he believed that the combative, well-trained women, like women in other Arab countries, would be able to protect herself in order not to fall victim. That is become easy prey. Now, they have a camouflage uniform, so their camouflage clothing, high heels, and sunglasses belie their true identities, as they were trained assassins who had completed their training at Tripoli elite women military academy. So this is not some women we pick and choose on the street. And don't forget one thing I always say in my videos, I do remember the moment when I start working for the government service. When I say government service, I talk about military and diplomatic intelligence services. You don't choose that profession. Profession chooses you. You don't come on the street and say, hi, my name is Mario, I just want a job and I want to be trained in all these different trainings. No, it doesn't work that way. Now, imagine having the women who are there to protect the leader of the country. They are not being taught just how to do nail polish. They were doing the job better than men. Now, before they even could begin bodyguard training, every female bodyguard has to be the virgin. Obviously, then have the doctors to check. If they pass the training and the individual is selected for duty by the colonel, they must commit to celibacy, something as a priest doing in Roman Catholic religion. They were all skilled with the firearms and cold weapons, as well as the martial arts. They were intended to be combat ready for formal gatherings. Yet, while wearing military uniforms, they were allowed to wear the jewelry, high heels and makeup. And today we can see this as well across Middle East. Even Saudi Arabia slowly opening for their government female members and employees, makeup, high heels, and we can see that women slowly adjusting, still have a traditional outfit, but they're adding modern Western items. How fooled you can be when you see the female bodyguard. I would be fooled, and I was fooled, when you see the girl in camouflage uniform, high heels, nail polish and everything else. Every man will gonna say, oh, I can take care of her. I'm guarantee you that woman, I never saw them in training, I never saw them in action, but I guarantee you that woman will snitch your life. I saw many bodyguards, I've been trained in some of these skills, but when you see the woman, when everybody has a judgment towards the woman, she's a weak, she's not capable to defend, that is your dead sentence. That being said, high heels, makeup, jewelry, he allowed them. Many close to him, however, claim that the colonel just preferred the company of young women. Jealousy, jealousy, jealousy. You don't need 40 women to be around you, to have a company of every each one. Now, those women during the Gaddafi's reign, in 1975, Gaddafi published the Green Book, a small pamphlet detailing his political ideas. Through his presidency, teachers used his works in classroom and his quotations could be found all around Libya. One of the chapters was about women and their place in society. That's in 1975. All the men and women are born equal. Gaddafi believes there are intrinsic differences between the sexes, male and female. As a result, they have distinct and specific functions in everyday life. The Libyan leader, Muammar Gaddafi, went on the remark that while women should be trained to fight so that they do not become easy prey for their enemies. Having female bodyguards, he believes, is a step towards women's liberation. Under Gaddafi rule, women were permitted to attend colleges and universities. They could also work as engineers, doctors, nurses, or political officers. And apart, you can read this on the internet, or maybe you can ask people who are born in Libya. I remember my father was in 80s, was being sent by Yugoslavian government. They were building a lot of bunkers for the Iraqians and for the Libya. And I remember clearly he told me, so like, life over there, it's different. They're like almost swimming in the gold. There was no big deals. Today, it's a little bit different. So Muammar Gaddafi is not only allow women to become the part of society in a way everybody anticipating today to become everybody equal as a West on the East or vice versa. He developed as well a lot of colleges, he built a lot of schools, hospitals and everything else. Most of these things doesn't exist today. At the time of his death, Muammar Gaddafi in 2011, more than half of the university students were females. Now, I want you to remember, that's what the name, made their global premiere in Syria. And during the trip, Gaddafi met with Syria then President Hafez al-Assad. In 1998, a mob of fanatics rushed Gaddafi's limousine in Derna, Libya. In an attempt to save the Libyan leader's life, one of his bodyguards was killed. 7 others was also injured. Aisha, the revolutionary nun, main security officer at the time, was the female bodyguard who saved his life. In 2006, Gaddafi and about 200 heavily armed bodyguards arrived at Abuja International Airport in Nigeria. So you understand that Gaddafi didn't travel only with the female bodyguards. The guy will bring everybody with him. And if you want to host him, he'll have at least some small detachment as a battalion, 400 to 500 people strong battalion of people protecting him. So not just the females, the first ring, he has armed bodyguards, second ring and third ring, and he have as well domestic police wherever he arrived. So he arrived in Nigeria, and when airport security refused to let them enter because they were armed, Gaddafi becomes angry. Of course he can. You know who I am? I'm Gaddafi. Following a brief clash between security and bodyguards, Libya enraged leader prepared to march to the capital. The intervention of Nigeria president at this time, Olusegun Obasanjo, only made matters worse. Now, another incident. Gaddafi arrived in Italy in June 2009, escorted by approximately 300 bodyguards. He slept in a huge Bedouin tent in central Rome Park during his vacation. It is also conceivable that Gaddafi was the first to identify today's global trend, which is increased discretion required of female bodyguards. Gaddafi Amazons were dubbed the Amazons who dressed in Kalashnikovs like Gucci accessories. That's what was thought. Now, that sparked debate in the West because they were well-trained, handsome intelligence operatives who were also fashion-oriented. I want you to grasp this while I'm speaking this to you. When you watch a movie, Hollywood-type movies, we all see the movies depicting people who are in the West, usually men, very well trained, does everything, flies a spaceship, and jump from the plane, all these things together. But you never see the women being trained as a bodyguards, except being spies. But it doesn't work that way. It's very cynical to say that nobody except Western countries know how to put bodyguards, how to train them, and the list goes on. Gaddafi, it is example. I just said, Aisha, she drove herself. She's been shot, 7 others been injured. Those women take a job very seriously to protect their leader. Now, you can't jump it faster than bullet fly because bullet is very fast. So imagine what state of mind they were to noticing that something is wrong. Now, as I mentioned before, his bodyguards wear the lipstick, jewelry, camouflage uniform, and high heels. Paradoxically, everybody's gonna laugh when they do this, but they were so dangerous that it was proven. Now, the media labeled Gaddafi the Libyan Hugh Hefner, accusing him of discrimination since he is surrounded by attractive girls. On the other side, some believe that the Gaddafi regime decision to assign female bodyguards reflected its current views on gender equality. He promised his mother. That's what he always said. And you can't say, obviously, he didn't have some relation with some women, in his bodyguards. But those bodyguards were loyal to him. The vast majority of women who served in the Revolutionary Guard were banned from seeing their families or spouses. In 2001, a Libyan psychologist began researching the Revolutionary Guard recruitment process. Only 8 ladies testified because they were afraid to testify. They're afraid that their family will be killed, that someone's going to assassinate them. Now, despite the fact that many women consider Gaddafi as a liberator of women, numerous women accused the Libyan leader of sexual assault and abuse after his death. Many women claim that they were approached for sexual favors or coerced into joining the unit in order to be picked. That is absolutely, it's possible, it's feasible. They testified that Gaddafi and a few other members of the leader's close circle sexually attacked them. Again, this is also going to be supported. However, there's a small number of women supporting this. And obviously Gaddafi, he wasn't saint. He was the leader. He was a tyrant. And for those who don't know, he lost his life on 20th October 2000 11 after the Arab Spring uprising started in late 2010. As you know, in Tunisia was one of the vendors on a market. He set himself on fire, protesting against police brutality and harassment. Libya, Egypt, Tunisia, Yemen, those countries has been overthrowing their own rulers. As an example, in Libya, Gaddafi has been caught. And when Gaddafi has been caught, interesting, he fought quite long, for 8 months, but then Libya has been attacked by the NATO countries as well. He's been bombed, and the country was falling into turmoil, and Libya never rose again. Libya is today destroyed countries, all around by the hundreds of thousands of refugees who try to escape into Europe. There's no Gaddafi who's preventing all of this. There's almost non-existing military. But interesting enough, when Gaddafi has been caught, he told allegedly, he was trying to beg for the life. He said to one of his captors, "What did I do to you?" Now, there was no female bodyguards around him at the time of capture, because Gaddafi, he's been run as a dog into desert and he's been captured. So let me know, what do you think about Gaddafi female bodyguards? Are we making judgment about people who we hire just because we want them to look like something that we don't see every day? Or do you believe the female bodyguards in Gaddafi case were successful? Don't forget, many of his female bodyguards actually lost their life. I just grabbed a couple of examples so you can see it. Gaddafi never traveled alone. He always traveled with a small battalion, small contingent of the heavily armed bodyguards. But his first ring of protection were the female bodyguards, better known as the Gaddafi Amazons. Thank you for watching. Let me know in comment section below. Feel free to subscribe, share, like and comment.